colder, but quieter as well. See you soon for that forecast.
Thanks, Charlie. See you later. But first, many of us try to reduce our carbon footprint over the course of our lives. But even death comes with a carbon cost, which environmental experts are urging more of us to consider now.
Yeah, something I had never thought about before, I must admit. But the vast majority of people are opting for cremation over burial. And that process on a single body can release hundreds of kilograms of CO2. Nick Smith reports.
How we choose to enter the afterlife has an impact on the world we leave behind. 4 in 5 of us now opt for cremation after death. 60 years ago, it was roughly 1 in 3. But that process generates equivalent CO2 emissions of a return flight from London to Paris, according to carbon consultancy firm Planet Mark. So what are the alternatives? John Ware is a funeral director in Plympton and says there are options beyond cremation and traditional burials if people seek them out.
It varies very much by area. So in the cities, we tend to see that cremation is chosen much more often. That's normally because burial space has started to run out, so burials become more expensive. But there are some green burial sites that are opening, so that does give people the choice if that's the type of funeral that they would like.
In a recent YouGov poll on after-death arrangements, 1 in 10 respondents said they wanted eco-friendly funerals.
Tell me about these coffins here. What materials have been used to make them?
So this one over here is a wicker coffin. It's all fair trade, sustainably grown.
And there are now undertakers like Fran Glover, specialising in green alternatives, claiming they can be cost-effective.
We've got 2 electric hearses and we hire those out at a lower rate than we would do for a traditional kind of hearse. One of the things that people probably don't realise, but when they see a wooden coffin, what looks like gold or silver coloured handles are actually made of plastic, and that's single-use plastic. So that's a lot of plastic that's being used. So what we would do in that instance is perhaps say to people, did you know that you could have wooden handles and a wooden nameplate, that you're doing just that little bit more to help the environment.
Joe Hindley's mother and father both passed away in recent years and are among those re-embracing a style of burial, focusing on actually contributing back to the environment.
We chose to have a cardboard coffin so it would be minimal impact, without any brass fittings or bits of plastic, and wrapped my parents, each of them, when it came to their turns, in a wool blanket. We are all organic matter. It's a matter of how to facilitate the job of composting, really, to going back into the earth.
I think people are starting to understand how very bad for the environment cremation is. It's not sustainable. It feels also for many people more brutal or more industrial. And burial is a more natural process. We're increasing biodiversity. We're protecting the environment for wildlife.
While natural burial sites like this are growing in popularity, with cremation remaining an often cheaper and far more widespread option, it means cost can continue to count when it comes to how you're laid to rest. Nick Smith, ITV News.
Now the ITV News continues after us with the national and international stories at 6:30. Here's Mary Nightingale.